Hey, everybody. I'm here to remind you that March the 16th, 2022 in Vegas at the Encore Wynn Encore, whatever you want to call it, PRINTUV is back. It is the most amazing print conference I've ever been to in my entire print career. I've been there, I think, 8 out of 12 times that it's happened. Anyways, you know what? Don't listen to me. We're talking with Gary Doman of GEW, who's been a platinum sponsor for a couple years. Tell us why you're a platinum sponsor and why the show is so great.
Well, I was lucky enough to get there in 2019. That was my first time attending PRINTUV, and I loved it. Probably the best conference I've ever been to in my career, actually. So there was no doubt about us attending again. Sadly, with COVID, we had to miss, 2 years? But our first chance this year, there was absolutely no hesitation, and we had to go. And it's a fantastic event. It's one of my favorites. We get to see all of our friends, catch up with the latest technology. And wine, you know what I love about wine more than anything? If you think you know everything there is to know about UV and LED UV, I assure you, if you go there, you will learn something. Because I always do when I go there, I love that. And I think that's the great thing, is that sharing of knowledge.
Yeah, so every time I go to a print show, this is my objective, to come home with one thing that I could remember, that I could implement. Because when there's too many things, you come home and you don't do any of them, right? Yeah. And there isn't a time that I haven't been there where I haven't learned something. And I will tell you, because I really don't like suppliers all the time, but at that show, suppliers are not putting on a commercial when they're talking about what they do, right?
No, that's true. And that is true, actually. What I love, the one thing I do love about PRINTUV and the organisers, the way they've done this, is that it's very much focused on the customers, the guys that actually at the sharp end of the business. So I don't want to say they limit the vendors, but they limit the numbers of each vendor that can attend. So that makes more room for those guys, the sharp guys and girls, actually at the sharp end. And I really do love that. But you know, you're right. The thing is, you will always come away from PRINTUV with a nugget or nuggets of something you didn't know. And that's the bit I really look forward to. And sharing information as well. But it's not an advert. No one sits there talking about GW, or, you know, one of the competitions. No one does that. And it's a friendly environment for that. It's much better for it. Yeah.
Well, I also found, to be honest, so when first time I went to the PRINTUV conference, I just bought a UV press, and I knew nothing about UV, and I was actually told to go to the event, and just going to the event and meeting people put me that much farther ahead in learning how to do UV, because it's not an easy thing. And I mean, you could just go straight print and put a coating on, but if you want to get into the reticulation and some of the different embellishments and everything else that you could do with it, you need to learn from the experts. And what I really liked was I had so much time with the vendors and other printers at the bar. And I kid you not, and I know everyone jokes about the bar, but the bar is probably the most important meeting room of the place. Because I find after a few drinks, the suppliers, they'll tell you anything you want to know.
Yeah, but it's true though, isn't it? That informality that we all enjoy. And it's a nice way to talk about things. And we've all got some shared common interests, as well as those things outside of printing. But I think for sure, you know, the other thing I would say that I enjoy is that, of course, you know, GW, we develop systems, we make systems and all of that. But actually, we're not using it. But it is good as things develop in LED UV and UV that you have the opportunity the year following at each PRINTUV to meet those guys, and they'll tell you what they've been doing. They'll tell you that perhaps they're doing something you didn't know was achievable. You know, it's that kind of development and learning that I think is for me the favorite part of going to the event.
So we can go on and on and on, but we won't. So the last thing that I want to just mention is my experience at the show has been that I've met all these people. When the show ends and we all go back to real life and back to the reality that we live in and all that, I've reached out to people along the way. I picked up the phone, and just because I've met them there, everybody's very receptive and helpful. And I've been able to introduce people in my company to other people in their companies at the levels that they work, because I don't want to be the guy bringing the information back and forth. It's like broken telephone. So just overall, I would use the two words, great communication and great friendships develop. So that's actually 4 words, but in 2 different sayings. So I get away with it. Before I cut you off, because we're going to end this video, is there anything you want to add at the last minute?
I mean, if you're serious, really serious about learning or wanting to know more about UV, LED UV, or there's things that you want to share, go to PRINTUV. Honestly, it's a great place to be. It really is.
Great. And okay, so you're going to be there, and people should look you up then, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yes, for sure. And possibly at the bar as well.
Well, I was just going to say, I think it starts March 16th. They have an evening event to welcome people right outside the room. I think the event probably is going to start at 7. I will be at the bar outside at 5 for anybody watching who wants to come and have a quick meetup beforehand. So Gary, thank you so much for doing this again, because I messed up the first one. And everybody else, I look forward to seeing you there on March the 16th, 2022. See ya.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Cheers, Warren. Cheers.
Cheers.